Hey, Nikki here, and in this video I'm going to take you through a roughly 30-minute Pilates stretch restorative class using a large bath towel, so stay tuned. All right, so let's get into the class. We're going to go for about 30 minutes, feel good stuff. As always, take things at your own pace. If anything doesn't feel right in your body, feel free to modify, adapt, adjust, or just do something totally different. I certainly will not mind. So with that, this will be full body, very restorative, should just feel good at the end. Let's start on our back. Make sure you got some space around you, and you probably don't need the towel yet, but you have the option. If it's comfortable on your neck, we're going to be rolling side to side. You're welcome to put the towel any amount underneath your head, like a pillow. I like my head flat, so I'm going to go with that. And then I want you to take your feet out about mat width apart and feet kind of pointing parallel. We're going to take our arms out to the sides like a T. And the first thing we're going to do here is just start to windshield wiper the legs over to the left, back to the middle, and then over to the right. So just going side to side here. Now, if this feels good and you can coordinate it, as your knees drop to the right, your head is going to turn to the left. And then your head will pass through the middle and your head will just turn away from your knees. Let's go one more each way, and then we're going to build into this. All right, coming back to center. So we're going to add a literal twist to this move. So what you're going to do is drop your knees over to the right, turn your head to the left. And then from here, you're going to bend your left elbow and you're going to sweep it across your chest and you're going to let your head follow your hand and you're going to roll your arm all the way over to the right. And then drag the left arm back across your chest. Keep your knees to the right, let your head turn so you come back the way you came, and then back to the middle with the knees, and we're going to do that on the other side. So drape the knees over, let your head turn away from your knees, feel the nice twist. Bend your elbow, reach your arm across. If your range of motion looks entirely different than mine, no big deal. And then take your arm back the way you came, letting the legs drag behind you. And then bring the knees back to the middle. Let's go one more each way. Drop the knees over, turn your head away from it. Bend your elbow, rotate. Take your arm back across. Back to the middle one more time. Knees go one way, head goes the opposite way. Bend your elbow, take the arm across. Reach it back the way you came. And then come back to the middle. All right, from here, let's just cross our left ankle over our right knee. Arms can go by your sides. Flex your left foot, and then first thing I want you to do is just fold your knees into your chest and then just touch your foot down. We'll go 2 more times. Fold your knee to chest and touch down. Once more, fold the knee to chest and touch down. From here, hands can go anywhere that's comfortable. They could also go behind your head. You're going to nod your nose. You're going to curl forward, little chest lift, and then lower your head down. Let's just go 2 more like that. Lift your head and lower it down. One more time. Lift your head and lower it down. All right, we're going to turn this into a little baby flow. So you're going to let your knees come to your chest. Let your feet come down. Lift your head. Lower your head. Here's the add-on. Push into your right foot. Roll your pelvis up a little bit or a lot. And then roll it all the way down. Let it go. Knees to chest. Foot comes down. Lift your head. Nice work. Lower your head. Roll your hips up. And roll your hips down. One more time on this side. Knee to chest. Foot comes down. Lift your head. Lower your head. Roll the spine up. And roll the spine down. Take your arms back out to that T position for a moment. And then just start to drape your legs over to the right so you get a little bit of a stretch. And again, if you want to turn your head away from your legs, if that feels good to you today, great. Come back to the middle and then unpretzel your leg. Let's do side number 2. So right ankle goes over. Left knee, arms come down by your sides. First thing I want you to do here is just let your knees come to chest and touch down. If you're like me, you will have one hip that feels significantly stiffer or tighter than the other. That's okay. Just honor it wherever it is, whatever it is doing today. Let's go one more time. Let your foot come down. Let's just do 3 little chest lifts here. Nod your nose, exhale. Ribs go heavy as head comes up. And touch down. Just 2 more times. Nod the nose, curling forward. Lowering down. One more time. Curling forward, any amount. Coming down. Let's turn this into a little combo. Knees to chest. Foot comes down. Lift your head. Lower your head. Push into your foot. Roll the hips up a little or a lot. Roll the spine down. Let it relax. 2 more times. Knees to chest. Foot comes down. Lift your head. Lower your head. Roll the hips up. And roll the hips down one final time. Knee to chest. Foot comes down. Lift your head. Lower your head. Roll the hips up. And roll the hips down. And let that all go. You can hug your knees into your chest if you like. Maybe do a few little knee circles one way. And the other. And let that go. All right, from here, we are going to add in the towel. So here's the deal. You got 2 choices. So option A is if extension doesn't feel good on your upper back, it feels great on mine, but we're all different. We're going to be doing a bunch of arm work here. So you can do it just like you are right now on your back, no problem. But if you want a little bit of kind of a more passive extension stretch experience, you're going to grab that towel. Now, again, you can fold this up a little bit or a lot. I'm going to just kind of roll mine up almost like a bolster or like a foam roller. And then you're going to put it in the middle of your mat, come onto your back again. And then there's a little bit of play here to figure out exactly where you want to be. So let me see. You're going to be different than me, which is fine. You can also make this, you can fold it less if you want a little bit less extension. But for me, yeah, this feels, my ponytail is the biggest problem, but this feels pretty good. So notice my neck isn't way back. It's a little extension to match my upper back, but nothing too wild. So find a place where you're comfortable and then take a moment here and find a place where your arms feel good, because we're just going to breathe here and get used to this position. Arms can open out to the sides. They can do goalpost arms if that feels good. I feel a stretch across only one of my pecs. But you might feel a little stretch. You could also fidget and fuss to just figure out exactly where you want to be here. And again, if you don't love the towel, you cannot use it all, or you can just use it as a pillow for your head. All right, if you're feeling good with this though, let's actually just start by goalposting our arms. Let's fold them together, inhale. And then exhale, just open the pecs and stretch. You can go all the way to the floor if you have the range. If that doesn't feel good, make your range smaller. So option is going to be to come in and then open just a little bit. Let's go 2 more like that. And last one here. And then let's take the arms up towards the ceiling. So now that your arms are up towards the ceiling, reaching through the arms, slide your arms up so the shoulder blades go wide across your back, and then let your shoulder blades come down and gently together. And then reaching the arms up, and letting the shoulder blades drop down one more time. Reach the arms up. Let the shoulder blades come down, and now let's just start to scissor the arms. One arm reaches over your head, any amount, other arm reaches towards your feet. Again, I like big stretchy ranges of motion, but if your shoulders don't like big stretchy ranges of motion, just make it smaller. So there's no rule here. Just go with what feels good. All right, let's do a few arm circles to finish this little sequence. So inhale, stretch your arms over your head. Sweep them around and then back up the middle. So we're mimicking what you could do with Pilates arc or Pilates half barrel, by the way. But this is nice because you don't need fancy equipment. Let's go one more this way. Coming up the middle, and let's reverse. Arms come down by your sides. Sweep. It's okay if your ribs move right now. But do notice how your shoulder blades will glide and hopefully follow the same direction as your elbows and your hands. Let's go one more. Stretching overhead and then taking it all the way up. All right, to come out of this, just roll to your side and come on up. All right, let's move along into a little bit of side lying work. So what I want you to do now is just fold or roll up your towel any amount that it feels comfortable to support your head. So again, you might need to fold yours more or less than me. There's not a rule here. I want you to bend your knees in, feet roughly in line with your sit bones, and then just let your head come down. So again, fold up your towel as much as you need. My biggest issue is I have a microphone, so that's what I'm kind of contending with. And then once you're here, first thing I want you to do is, hopefully my microphone pack doesn't make it too hard to see what's happening. I want you to just reach. So I'm lying on my left side, so my right side is my moving side. So I want you to reach your right hip up towards your right rib cage. And then I want you to reach your right sit bone towards your feet. So then there's a little bit of space underneath your waist. So you're just going to go hip to ribs and then hip away from ribs. So just starting to get a little bit of motion here through the pelvis. Let's go one more like that. And then you can keep your hand on your hip if that feels good, or just have it resting on the ground. And now I want you to gently tuck your pelvis under, so pubic bone to ribs, and then kind of stick your booty out. So you're sort of doing like a little bit of a, I don't know, Beyonce pose. So gently tucking the pelvis under, and then just kind of sticking your butt back. If you speak anatomy, this is anterior tilt to posterior tilt. And then find something in the middle. So now we're just going to do a little bit of internal rotation for the femur. So I want you to just pick up your foot and touch it down. And then pick up your foot and touch it down. One more time, pick up your foot and touch it down. And now your hand can go on your hip. It can go in front of you, it can go by your side. But now as you pick up your foot, I think I was saying pick up your hip, sorry. You followed, hopefully. I want you to pick up your head. So you're going to kind of go head and foot, and then touch down. So you'll feel a little bit of a side bend. Pick up your head and touch it down. 2 more times. Pick up your head and touch it down. 1 more time. Pick up your head and touch it down. Let that all go. We're just going to do that on the other side. So roll on over or spin around. Whatever works for you today. Find a place where you feel reasonably comfortable and your head feels reasonably supported. Feet in line with your sit bones. I'll do a quick time check. All right. And again, if your 2 sides feel completely different, me too. It's okay. We'll do the best we can, right? So now I'm lying on my right side, which my left side is the one I'm thinking about moving. I'm going to kind of rock my left pelvis up towards my left rib cage and then reaching it the other way. And if you're like me, you're going to be like, wow, one side has a lot of range and one side does not. That's all right. Work with what you have today and whatever your body is showing up with. It's all fine. There's no rules in this. Good. This can be really tiny and really gentle, or it can be a little bit bigger. Explore what feels nice in your tissues today. Find something in the middle, and then I want you to just gently tuck your pelvis under, pubic bone to ribs, and then stick your butt back. And then gently tucking the pelvis under. And then kind of just gently sticking your butt back. So again, if you speak anatomy, anterior pelvic tilt, posterior pelvic tilt. If you don't, just rock your pelvis back and forth. And do notice how when you move your pelvis, there may be a little bit of movement around the ribs, probably a little bit of movement around your thigh bone. That's good. We want those areas to be able to move. All right, rest somewhere that feels like it's in the middle of those two, and then just pick up your foot and touch it down. I don't know what I cued on the other side, but that's why we have a visual. Pick it up and touch it down one more time. Pick it up. And now we're going to add lifting the head if you wish. So do whatever you want with this top hand. When you're ready, pick up and touch down. And again, pick it up and touch it down. 2 more times. Pick it up. Just noticing what that feels like. We've already done this on our back. Now we're doing it on our side. We're going to explore this on hands and knees in just a moment and let that all go. Nice work. So now from here, come on up. You don't need your towel for this one. Just set it to the side and then come onto your hands and knees. All right. So if you think about it, we have done side bending. Or we've done side bending and internal, external rotation of our thighs to a degree on our back, on our side, and now we're going to feel it on hands and knees. So set up your hands somewhere underneath your shoulders, your knees somewhere underneath your hips. Let's just take a moment to maybe rock back, kind of think about sticking your booty in the air a little bit so you're not tucking and then rocking forward, just to introduce the weight into our feet and our hips and our hands. Feeling how the shoulders also get to glide here. Go one more. All right, come up. Knees are underneath your hips. Pick a foot, pick it up in the air, and then just swing it one way. Try to keep equal weight across both hands and knees, and then just swing it the other way and look over your shoulder. It doesn't matter if you actually see your foot, though. So all I want you to notice here is that we've done versions of this, but notice how the experience of notice how you experience your hips, your ribs, your shoulders in these different positions, because it'll change based off of what plane you're in. Good. Put your foot down, switch sides. Pick up your foot, swing it one way, and swing it the other way. Again, you can make these as small or as big as you like. Breathe in a way that just feels natural for you today. Take this as slow or as quick as feels good. And then put your foot down. All right, let's explore pelvic tilts here. We did this on our side. Now we're going to do it on hands and knees. So lengthen out from tail to head. We're going to start by just isolating from the pelvis. So your upper body is not going to move. Your ribs ideally won't move. You're just going to tuck your pelvis under. And then you're just going to gently reach your tail feathers in the air. Tuck the pelvis under. Just start to notice, what does it feel like to move or isolate through the pelvis today? There's no right or wrong. Just notice what happens. One more time, tucking the pelvis under, reaching it back. All right, now you're going to keep that little baby low back curve. So you're going to keep your pelvis fairly neutral, meaning you're not overly tucked. And you're going to see if you can isolate your upper half. So you're going to think about rounding through your head and ribs, push into your hands, and then reaching long, maybe a little mini extension if that feels good. Push into your hands, gently round through your ribs. And then go the other way. One more time. Rounding through the ribs and upper back. And lengthen. All right, from here we're going to do full cat-cow. Tuck your pelvis under, round your whole spine, push into your hands, push into your knees and feet. And then lengthen your tail, unfurl your spine, maybe look up if that feels good for you today. Push into your hands and feet, tuck your pelvis. Exhale. And then lengthen out. One more time. Tucking under. And then lengthen all the way out. And then let that go. All right, from here, we're going to move on to our belly. So let's use our towel for a little bit of breathing here. So I want you to come down onto your stomach. You don't have to use the towel, but it's a nice bit of feedback. And I want you to just place it somewhere along your pelvis, lower back area, keeping it folded or refolding it if you lost it. And if you have a hard time sometimes feeling kind of movement in your lower back, it might feel kind of nice to put it on like the crest of the pelvis and low back. But again, play with what feels good to you. Put one hand over the other. Let your forehead rest down on your hands. And we're going to do some wave breathing. So I do not care what you do with your legs. They can be out wide and turned out. They can be wide and parallel. They can be more narrow and parallel or narrow and turned out. Just find a place where you are comfortable. And I just want you to start to inhale casually through your nose. And then just start to casually exhale through your nose or mouth, whatever feels, again, more intuitive or just feels better for you today. So start to notice when you inhale, you're going to feel an expansion of your belly into the floor, and you're going to feel space through the backside of your body. And now I'm going to add a count for this, but again, if you don't love the count, you just pick your own count in your own breath pattern. So now when you're ready, I want you to think about just breathing into the pelvis and lower back. So we're going to go for inhaling for a count of 4 and exhaling for a count of 6. So inhaling 2, 3, 4, feeling the expansion of the pelvis and lower back, and then exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We'll do that 2 more times. Breathing into the pelvis and lower back. Inhale 2, 3, 4, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. One more time. Inhale 2, 3, 4, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So now we're going to breathe in through the pelvis, the lower back, to kind of the mid-back and bottom of the rib cage. So kind of the middle of the torso. So starting in the pelvis, moving up to the middle of the torso, inhaling for 4, exhaling for 6. So when you're ready, inhale 2, 3, 4, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Again, inhale 2, 3, 4, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. One more time. Inhale 2, 3, 4, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, this time we're going to breathe from pelvis to low back to mid ribs to kind of the upper ribs, upper back, and collarbones. So 3 rounds of breath. In for 4, out for 6. So when you're ready, inhale 2, 3, 4, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 more times. Inhale 2, 3, 4, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. One more time. Inhale 2, 3, 4, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Nice work. From here, just slide the towel out of the way. Keep whatever feels comfortable for the legs. Let's go left hand on top of right, forehead down. Just a little mini extension pattern here to finish this off. So first thing I want you to do here is just lift your head and nothing else. Look up a little bit and touch down. So this is option A. Do it one more time. You can stick with option A for as long as you like. If it feels good though, glue your left hand to your forehead, and I want you to just do a little hover, looking up a little bit and coming down. Again, this is not going to be super specific. I just want you to explore, how does it feel to lift your head and your arm. Now, if this feels okay, you can lift left arm and right leg and just see how that feels. Trying to keep the right knee straight
Now this is where you might find you don't love where you put your legs. I don't love where I put my legs. I'm going to bring them a little more narrow and parallel now, and for whatever reason that feels better for me today, so that's what I'm going to do. One more time. I'm trying to keep my right knee straight because it really wants to bend so I get hip extension. Let that come down, rest. Breathe in and out a few times if that feels good. And then let's just go right hand over the left hand. And then you can let your forehead rest down. You can stick with just lifting the head, or if it feels okay, you can lift the right arm and your head and touching down. So explore that for a couple. And then if that feels okay, you can add in lifting the opposite leg to the arm. Let's go 2 more. And last one like that. Let it come down. Find any position that's comfortable for your legs. You can also sit back into a child's pose if you like. Just take a couple easy breaths here. Feeling the expansion and contraction through the back body and through the front body. All right, we're just going to end on our back with a little bit of a stretch. So I want you to come on up. Again, this can be done no towel, no problem. I like having a little bolster under my hips though, so play. What feels good for you today? So option A is going to be just resting here. Option B, take your folded towel. You can always roll it up more or less. Bring it up by your feet, push into your feet, lift your buns, and then pull the towel under you so your full pelvis is supported on the towel. First thing I want you to do here in this mini inversion is just let the floor have you and really start to feel the weight of your bones. So just start to see if you can let go of any muscle tension. And when I talk about feeling the weight of your bones, what I want you to notice is how the pelvis can just kind of be heavy, maybe, and surrender to the towel. And then you might need to fuss a little bit with where the towel is, but start to feel actually how your thigh bones can start to feel heavy into the pelvis here. And then just think about it's like you're just moving bones. You're not even using muscle. What would happen if you just kind of casually folded one knee in and then you brought it down? And then you'll switch sides. So just letting the leg be heavy. Let's go one more each way. Folding the leg in, letting it come down. Folding the leg in and letting it come down. All right, from here, fold a leg in. Maybe let your hands come in, hug the knee to the chest. The leg can might want to go out to the side, or maybe it'll stay parallel. And then if you want, maybe start to draw little circles with your knee. Now I'm grabbing behind my thigh, but guess what? You can also grab kind of above the knee or the shin. Just easy knee stirs. And then sort of circle the other way. And then just let that leg come down. Let's just do the same thing on the other side. Fold the leg in. You can stay here if that feels good, or you can just do some little easy knee circles one way. And then the other. Again, hold on to your leg however feels good for you today. Let that come down. We're going to just end the same way we started. So checking back in, move your towel out to the side. Take your feet out about mat width apart, toes pointing forward. Open your arms out to the side like a big T. Let your knees drape one way, let your head turn the other. Just notice if your sensation through your thighs or your spine or your hips feels any different. Come back to center. And then let the knees go the other way, let your head turn away from it. And back to center. And then take a moment, find any position that feels comfortable. Just take a few breaths in and out here. Maybe do a little mental body scan. And if there's an area that perhaps you notice a little bit of tension, just ask yourself, does it need to be there? And if the answer is yes, okay. But maybe the answer is no.
You can maybe let the floor have you just a little bit more. And then for the purposes of time, we're going to call you good for that with this class, but you are of course welcome to stay here for as long as you want or need. Thanks so much for joining me. If you enjoyed that video or found it helpful, I'd invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I try to put out new videos every week. Also, I do have a newsletter where I send out free workouts and other fitness and nutrition tips. So if you're interested in that and staying in touch, you can sign up for that via the link in the description.